to season 2, episode 7 of StBTV. Here I am with Darren today. We're going to take you through a few on-course things that we ask our members to do, and that you can do on the golf course, to help improve play, to help improve the golf course, and make your day far more enjoyable. All right, so I've hit my shot into the green. After I've hit my shot in the green, I've taken a bit of a divot because I've had a lofted club here. So as you know, we provide you with the sand and seed mixture here, which basically helps us to restore the golf course. So what we ask you to do is use these bottles. As well, we have sand and seed mix on the carts for those of you who ride. So all we do is we take this and fill the divot, or the area that we took and out of the turf, step it down, and that helps the turf grow back. So while you're here, you might as well do a couple other areas for areas that people have missed. Okay, so all we do is fill it in. All that's doing is helping the golf course get back into great shape. Little tip for you to help keep our golf course in great shape. So thanks.
All right, Steve, so now that we have the ball marks here, I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of a tip how I like to see the ball marks kind of fixed. A lot of people tend to go in the middle and lift up that center. Unfortunately, there's normally on some wetter greens, it's going to be a dead mark underneath there, so you're actually lifting up just mud instead of actually mending the turf together. So this is the way that I like to try doing this. So when I come down to fix the mark, I'll go on an angle and I actually twist in, and I try to twist it all in to kind of mend it, and then you can either use your putter to tap it down, or if you don't have the putter, step on it with your foot. Perfect. The main reason why we try to get a lot of the members and ourselves to fix ball marks is sometimes in the early morning when the workers are cutting the greens, when there is a big tuft sticking up, the mowers go over it and it actually scalps it off as well. Right. So this is important for the health of the turf and just the overall, playability of the turf as well.
Right, which leads us to the next thing. For you as a golfer, what I live by is I always fix my ball mark and then one more. So what that does, it really ensures that if all of our members buy into that, then it ensures that when we're playing, the surfaces that we're putting on are a lot smoother. Okay, so if you have a green that's littered with ball marks, when you putt through it, it could bounce it offline. Okay, so even to Darren's point about scalping the turf, that also affects your line and how many putts you can make. So if you want to make more putts, fix more ball marks. All right, Darren, so we've had a lot of questions this year about course setup and what goes into setting up the golf course in the morning. So maybe just walk us through what you and your team do each morning to set the golf course up.
Yeah, so typically what we like to do is it's important to set up the course fairly. And normally, as we discussed before, we try to set up 6 easy pins, 6 medium pins, and 6 a little bit more tough, challenging pins. That's a typical setup of where the flags go. And really depending on the conditions of the turf will dictate where our pin actually does go. So, and then on top of that, the tee placement's very important as well. That we try is when we do have a red flag, we try to put our tee box markers at the back of the tee box, and then as it moves to a white, we try to move them forward and so on and so forth. Try to limit the amount of wear that gets on the tee boxes, right. And we try to move them around.
Yep.
If we find that one area is getting really hacked up, then we're just trying to avoid that area for the time being, right?
So that makes sense. So from our standpoint, what we're really looking for is we're obligated to make sure that we have the overall distance of the course in mind. So we got to keep that distance. So some days you might have hole 6, the tee marker might be up as far as it can go. The next day, hole 7 might be as far back as it can go. So that's kind of to Darren's point about altering the tee decks to kind of kind of spread the wear out a little bit, but also go to the overall playability of the golf course, because we want to make it so that the golf course is fun and enjoyable. So you're going to have five or six holes that have some tough pin placements, and you're going to have 5 or 6 holes that are going to have pretty easy pin placements. So keep that in mind when you're looking at it, and don't overreact when you see a tough pin, because trust me, it's just golf. Everybody's got to play it. Good. Okay, so here we are in the bunker. As you can see, my ball rolled in here. It's in a footprint, okay? Given the fact that right now we don't have bunker rakes on the course, so we've modified the rules so that you can actually still get treated fairly here in the bunker. So what our rules are, what we're asking you to do, or what you're able to do, is pick the ball up, smooth it out, and then place the ball back. So that way, at least you have a fair shot at getting it out. So then what I do from this point is now I take everything else as though it was playing it normally. I would take my setup, hit my shot, and get the ball out of the bunker. Thank you for watching this week's episode. Stay tuned next week, where our video will include our Member of the Day winner, as well as our first look at pro tips for the year.